Video.
Okay, we're back.
It shouldn't stop the video when somebody calls.
It shouldn't do a lot of things. Remember we were talking about that earlier. Like,
Yeah.
I should be able to put a big ass video in there too if I want to.
I have iMovie and I can throw the clips together. So it'll just it'll be talking and then it'll stop and it'll pick up here while we're chatting now.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal. There's a software it was either free or $30, and I can show you how to use it. They try to make it user friendly. You just don't have a lot of features or options that you can do on there that's easy without a laptop.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you had a Mac, do you have a MacBook?
Uh-huh.
You have a MacBook?
Yeah.
So iMovie on there would be really nice.
Look, I have it right here.
And then what was the next one? I went from iMovie to, there's a better software. I guess it doesn't matter right now. You want to talk about your notes?
Oh, I can.
Yeah. So we talked about disruptions that we go through.
Yeah, it's like, and to remember that disruptions is a valuable cycle of life. It's like, so he said duration, then look, I can't even, disoriented, like you become disorient, happens, and then you're in like the void and the unknown, and then you feel like lost. So it's like lostness is what just you haven't chose yet, right? So it's like when you feel lost because you haven't chosen. It's that time right before you choose. It's like the lostness, and then there's the emergent cycle. It's like the wild emergence, right? And he said it's a lot like the butterfly. Lostness is the disruption of. Oh, that's mine.
Do you want to talk about why that's yours? Is it for?
Oh, because I was pissed off this morning about my technology.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? Let's talk about that frustration and what you worked through. Because today was what day? It was a provoking day.
Yeah, it was.
So what provoked you today as far as tech?
Because I got up this morning and I was like, I want to fucking create.
Yeah.
And so we started that. And thanks for those questions in that group.
Oh yeah.
In the human design group.
I've got some ideas.
So I wanted to do a video and do the tapping for the last day of the transit, which I want to do tomorrow. I might have to use your phone.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to create. I wanted to do it. I wanted to give it, and I couldn't because nothing. My phone is just so full. It's and it's yelling at me, and it was pissing me off. And so so I just was it's the disruption of technology, and so then it was this disoriented. How do you say that?
Disoriented?
Yes.
Okay.
I became disoriented because I couldn't figure it out, but then I had to just let it go, right? There's nothing I can do about it. I had to pause for a second.
Yeah. Disruption. So you were in a human design meeting this morning?
Yes.
And you guys talked about disruptions. And so you're walking through the cycle of what we go through when we face a disruption. What does a disruption look like? Do you want to go deep into this word?
I mean, we can. I got all kinds of notes.
Do you feel do you feel passionate about this topic, or do you want to switch to something else?
It might be nice to just talk about it.
Yeah.
Right?
And it'll help you with your integration.
Also, because we just had some disruptions today.
We did. Yeah. It'd be cool to share the whole demon experience.
Yeah. Yes. So it's how to use disruption, because we always have disruption in our life. So it's how do we use it to our advantage? And I put in there the trigger, and it's just be open. Be open to being the disruption. When he said be open to being the disruption, that kind of took me back. I was like, whoa.
What does that mean?
He was saying, we are we're all key players in each other's worlds, right? And so I'm gonna go back to my experience today when I don't really want to talk about it though, because not my business.
You talking about the client call?
No, no. Okay, anyway. Sorry,
You want to pivot?
Yeah, on that one.
Okay.
So I wrote down, act like you're not afraid of the disruption cycle, and be available for the full experience. So basically, like, so there was a disruption that happened for me today, right? And then I came in and, like, you know, like, I had to lean into the full experience, right? Without freaking out. Like, I didn't freak out at all today when I went over there, when I had to leave for a little bit. It was like, because we took this class, it was like I wasn't afraid of the disruption. Like, I went over there, did what I needed to do, and came right back. And, like, I handled it like a boss. Like, I was like, okay. But it's like, be available for the full experience. So if you're like, if you know, oh, this is the disruption, and in this disruption, like, if you're open to the experience, and you just kind of, like, coast into the unknown, what they're saying is, it's like, then this emergent cycle happens, right? And then you get on a higher level. So, and today is the provoking day, right? And tomorrow's 7/7. So it's like,
Tomorrow we only want to speak abundance.
only abundance.
Only surround yourself with people of abundance. It's a new beginnings day, 7/7.
Yes.
So plug in with us on Facebook. We'll be starting an abundance challenge of what that looks like. And then throughout the day, we'll probably be testing different things that raise our vibe. And then we can post a video on that. So, like, if you do like a gratitude something, then and it works and raises your vibe, make a video about it. Be like, hey, I just did this gratitude practice and it's raising my vibe, and this is to Abundance Day. Cheers to Abundance Day or something. You know, send that shit off.
Yes.
Anyway. Yeah.
So this is what I said. It's like disruption. Then stage 2 is like disorganization. Stage 3 is just wait and see. Wait and see and assess what happened. See the disorientation. Drop into the void. And in the void, there's all possibilities, right? So all possibilities exist in the void until you choose something. And when that happens, when you come out of the void, your energy becomes aligned, and this is the emergent cycle to where then you become a butterfly. I wish I knew this guy's name so we could give him credit for this, you know?
Okay.
Gavio?
Oh, yeah, something, Divio or something.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like, we can also create the disruption, you know? So it's like, sometimes when you look back and you're like, you know how you kind of act a fool or whatever, and you're the cause of a disruption?
Yeah.
Well...
You okay with that?
It's like, basically he was saying that we get little hints along the way that things need to change, but then we'll create a disruption so we can go through this, like, void to make a change.
Okay. So we're the provoker?
We can be.
Okay. Did you learn about this through the provoke gate?
So now that you bring the provoking gate up, it's like, I think this is why this lesson was so important, right? Because, like, we've all gone through some kind of provoking this week. There's been something being, you know, provoked, and it's like, through this we actually get to, like, see that. So you get provoked and there's, like, a disruption, but if you just, like, go into the void and just, like, allow and be there until you can make a choice, right? But surrendering and being open, like, just staying open.
How does this tie into your son having the provoke gate?
So
You just said be okay with being the one that
so
causes a disruption.
Yes, like, that's his gift.
Yeah. Because you cause change.
Yes.
So his superpower is knowing what people's triggers are.
Yes. And coming in and
he's
doing
going to cause rapid change.
Yep.
So all it takes is the correct intention, and then now he's the most powerful medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I'm like, this is his superpower. He just has to get to know it and use it for the good, right? But, yes. And so what's funny, though, is it wasn't even him who provoked today.
Who was it?
It was Casey. It was my daughter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know that story. I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter.
I don't even know.
We had the cops here today.
We did.
We had a whole demon like psychic surgery event today.
Yeah, it's eventful.
We had some people get shed of the cultural toxicity that comes from religion.
Yep.
And today they get to shed some stuff.
And what's funny is I had different things on the agenda.
You're like, these are my plans. Yeah. Like tomorrow, it's I felt like I'm supposed to leave, and go back to Arkansas actually for a short period, and then to San Diego. And transportation from here to the airport is like $212.
Oh my God.
Just one way. Yeah. So I was going to ask you about that later. If I could pay you money instead, and so it'd be a way for you to make some money, but that means your van is going to Nashville and back.
And also, like, I have other things I got, I need to look at my calendar.
Okay.
Like, it needs to be like, we can plan it, but I don't know when, I'm like, there's so much around that. Fear.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no commitment.
And schedules.
Yeah, I get it. And then if you have any friends or something like that would want to get paid, instead of me paying.
What about Ashley?
You think she'd want to get paid to take me? Do I know Ashley?
You will.
Oh, okay.
I call her Alien Ashley.
Yeah.
I love her.
I love aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like one of my really, really, really close friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So she might do it. She likes to drive and then, make a little cash. She's in the frog family.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mean practicing, or what do you mean?
So when you, do it, so basically, for me...
Oh, once you've had the practice.
Yeah, once you've done it. Yeah, then you're in the family.
You're in the family, okay.
Yeah, right? So it's but she's actually, I led her there, right? She came with me.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she's actually a part of the collective that I'm with.
Yeah.
But yet, I've actually only done Cambo under Ammon.
Okay.
Not the other.
Yeah. I had my meeting with Ammon about the combo. Combo or Cambo?
Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
I thought
matter.
it's combo.
You can call it whatever the fuck you want to call
Whatever I
it.
want.
Hey,
The Frog Kings.
Ones I took that. If I want to pronounce it any way I want, and it does not offend me at all when people correct me.
Yeah.
Because I'm still gonna say it the way I want to say it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, fuck it, this is my language.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak y'all's. Like, if I call it Cambo and you say combo, great. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a Southern girl. Don't fucking matter how I pronounce anything.
No,
it's cute.
You have fun with the language.
Yeah.
You draw it out, slow it down, speed it up.
You can do whatever.
Yep.
Let's have fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I had the meeting with Ammon and it was cool.
Okay.
So he was talking about where he gets it, and he even talked about some of his experiences that he had. If you're going to start offering it, he recommended a few things first.
Okay.
And just
Hold on,
hearing a shaman talk about their experiences and being a medicine man and introducing people to the Frog King, and it was really cool. So Ammon Hardin, it's AMMON HARDIN. He's on Facebook, and he's an interesting, very powerful shaman to have as a friend online.
Yeah, and he's a really good facilitator.
What?
He's a good facilitator too.
Who is?
Ammon.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's powerful.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So provoke, that's something that's we're in the whole season of fucking provoking, and your son has in his human design the provoke gate.
Yes.
And he's just really good at
provoking people. Yeah, and it's actually really beautiful. In the moment, right? In the moment, it looks like
gate
squirrel.
Open? Is that what it's
No,
called?
it's defined.
Defined. So there's defined and closed.
No, it's defined
and open.
And open,
Okay.
or undefined. So there's three.
Okay.
It's defined, undefined, and open.
So will you explain that real quick?
So the defined is the colored. So that's how you came in. Your human design is defined. So it's if there's color on your chart, then that's your original,
It's your power centers.
Yes. That's who you came here to be. And then so that's the centers, and when they're undefined, they're open, but they have gates coming out of them. But if they're open. Like your emotional center is open completely, because there's
Meaning?
no channels coming out of it at all. There's nothing coming out of it.
Yeah. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Like when I get around other people, I just adopt theirs fully? Is that what happens?
Well, so what the beautiful part about that is you're conditioned, but you get to choose what stays and goes, right? So it's like in our open spaces, we're conditioned. Like I had a coaching call with a girl who has an open head, right? No gates coming out of it, completely open. So she is just, it's like like when it's completely open, like your emotional center, it's just like these like she's caught up in all these like things where she doesn't even have to think about them. Like they're not even hers. So she's like been conditioned to think away, but the thoughts that are in there aren't hers, right? So it's like your emotional center is completely open. So you're almost like this solid grounding, right? Because you have like the emotions just like you're just here to process for humanity. They're not even yours. So you literally just clean your centers out, and get it going. So it's like when I'm like me being defined, like it is who I am, and and there's not really any changing it. It's like me and God, but like the open centers are like you, God, and humanity. So it's like you're just like processing, like a little processor.
So does that mean that most of the emotion that I feel is it mine or is it not? Or is it both?
So it can look like yours, but what you're doing is amplifying.
Oh, I'm like clear quartz crystal, and my head
Yes.
is ringing right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I'm
so
I'm a charger.
the trick is to remind, like you do a good job with either like walking away or kind of tuning out. But even if you're trying to listen to someone, like you're trying to get it, and you like start feeling the emotions that they're like taking you on, right? So you can feel the depths of it, and it probably feels uncomfortable because you're not used to it. They're not yours, but like you're getting the experience, an experience like going to the movies, or like an experience that and each one's different. But then you have to remind yourself that they're not yours. And see, a lot of people hold on to them, and like they would just clear the centers. Like I have a really dope program that I can do to help clear it out. And then like, and energy work too. And then it's like, and I meant to do that with my client today, is clear her centers. But anyway, so it's basically you just clear them with the questions, and then you focus on that center, and it helps you realize that that's not yours, whatever center it is.
You clear with questions?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I've ever experienced that.
Well, we shall.
We should.
Yeah. Not right now, though.
So we talked about undefined, defined, and what?
Open.
Open. And the differences where the open is like, just want to get around other people, I'm feeling everything that's around me.
Yes.
Defined is, if I get around other people, I'm only feeling myself, fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then undefined is it can go either way.
Undefined just means that you have a gate coming out of it, so it's still open, but you have a gate,
Open
which
gate.
gives you, which still gives you like a little taste of what's happening, out of that center.
Yeah.
But it's like my spleen is open or undefined, and then like I have a couple gates that come out of it. So I have an intuitive gate that comes out of it. I can't remember the other ones, but I know there's an intuitive gate that's coming out of the spleen that I have, and it's like, so it's there. I'm super intuitive, right? Like it's inside of me. But until I'm actually connected, either by the moon or the planets, like going into like they shift all the time, right? The moon shifts like I think every hour, every 2 hours, something, and like Pluto shifts every 2.5 years, So it's like all these different like variables of So basically, like, and that, or I'm with someone who connects me, I can't actually speak my intuition because it's not connected to my throat. But I'm like one channel away from, because what it does is it goes from your spleen. So I have, let's see, what side is it on? So I think it's on this side. So I have one channel, it's like 57, but it's not attached to my throat. So I'm intuitive, right? So it's inside of me. But it's like I have to wait for the right moment or the right connection or the right transit to be able to speak it.
Meaning you get around somebody else that has that gate, and then they complete you momentarily, and you're able to get it out?
Yes.
Verbally?
Yes.
So that's why when we're around certain people, they pull a side of us out that we love, that we get
Or
to,
hate.
Or hate, and then we meet other people that pulls out a whole different side
Yes.
of us? Okay. Because we're coming together, and our gates are doing this dance.
Yes.
Yeah, and we get to see we get to see a different version of ourselves.
Yes. So like when you and I are together, I get a sacral and a root, and you get a defined head, ajna, throat, G center, and emotional center.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we're all defined except for our heart. So our heart is still open together.
Okay.
But we almost make it complete. Like when Alice and I get together, we have everything except for the root and sacral. So like us together feels completely different because there's no energy center. The power center is like the sacral, and I feel like the next one's the root, right? But there's 5 motors, and him and I complete 3 out of the 5. You and I complete, I believe, 4 out of the 5.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
open? The heart.
The heart.
Okay. Meaning that we're super fucking flexible, right?
Well, we're super fucking defined.
No, I mean having the open heart. What it does.
Oh.
Yeah. That means that we're
Yeah, super flexible
very flexible.
and flowy.
Yeah.
And then, but we deal with a lot of like unworthiness and undervalue.
Okay.
Because the value and worthiness and ego come from the heart, right? So we're undefined. So if we get around an unhealthy heart, right, it can also make like, so one of the characteristics of an undefined heart is like feeling unworthy and like stuff like that. So when you get around somebody with a really healthy heart and you feel fucking valuable and you feel worthy as fuck, right? They're healthy as fuck, but you can also make commitments in their energy and then get out of their energy and be like, oh shit, I overcommitted, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do that often. The overcommitment, right?
Yeah.
So it's like knowing to not make a commitment, even when, okay, so actually, sometimes so you would need to listen to your gut in that moment. But be aware that if you're making a commitment, it's probably with a defined heart. So.
They're defined.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so when it comes to commitments, and that's something I learned from Jamie today, was she was sending out these invitations to meet every Monday as a group for a community online on Zoom. And at first I felt like that I was going to miss it, that I would miss one of the meetings, and then there would be this shame that came from it. And then I didn't want to go through that shit. And then so I felt cornered, and like I needed to do it in order to honor her because it's all about so I felt like she cornered me,
Okay.
And I reached out to her and I was just like, hey, this is actually a really painful moment for me right now, and it's because of this, because you're asking me to commit to something. And she gave me permission. She said, hey, sign up for it, and then if you make it, you do. If you don't, you don't feel any shame over it, and she gave me permission to be able to not commit.
Yes.
And there was a freedom that came from that.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's an open heart.
Yes.
On the human design modality.
Yes.
Okay.
The teacher that I have been studying on, she gave an example about like, she has a defined heart, and her partner does not have a defined. He's an undefined heart, like us. And so she said that the best thing that she did for him was say, you have the freedom, right? Like you have the freedom, but I'm gonna be right here, committed.
Okay.
Right? And so then it just made him just be like, fall in love. Just like, absolutely, right? Because it's like, in my last 2 relationships, like I really had these two men that gave me the freedom, but I was committed as fuck to both of them.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, but they let me just be free.
Yeah.
But I was committed.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, we can commit. It's just like, we have to have the freedom in the commitment.
Free to,
Yeah.
to not commit and there be no shame.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're also called wishy-washy, right? Because we like make a commitment and we're like, oh God, we can't, and we don't make it, or we don't do the commitment, or there's all kinds of stories around it, and that's why it's like important for people to know that, because we have to honor each other, right? It's like, and there's only 30% of defined hearts. I think it's 30, or maybe it's even smaller than that. But I'm surrounded by defined hearts. Like, most of my closest friends are defined hearts. And like, it's so beautiful because they all give me the freedom. You know, it's like, I need that to survive. And to know that they're there. They love the shit out of me.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of making me understand, like, why I want everybody to be free from all this shit and to be their true selves and stuff. And it's like, I'm trying to make everybody like me to where they don't have to commit to things.
But not everybody's like you.
I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, I found the freedom in this here. It's all about freedom. Nobody's going to trap me down. It's like my stance is coming from having an open heart. I didn't know that. And that's coming into my opinions of, like, how things should be ran.
Yeah. But the defined hearts, like, we need them. We need people to make commitments.
And I'm sure it feels amazing to them to make a commitment and follow through with it. And they're just like, this is fucking awesome.
If it's the right commitment, right? As long as they listen to their strategy and authority.
Oh, yeah. So what about those that make commitments to, like, toxic relationships? You know, stay in it because of religion and shit.
Yeah. There's so much.
Then now they're not open heart, but they're defined heart. Is like a.
But isn't that perfect for them? Because obviously their souls chose to come and experience that. So who is us to tell them that they're wrong?
But if they're aware of their design, then that might be their key to make the change. Like that might be.
Well, it might be the key to shift the whole fucking relationship. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
You know, we don't know.
Right. Well, we were just talking about like how community can be run if everybody is a super being that understands their design.
Yeah, and and then what if we just like. If we know that generators get frustrated, like my ex-husband, he's a generator and he gets frustrated a lot, and I could not hold space for his frustration.
Oh yeah.
Because it didn't make sense to me. Like it would always like kind of put me in like this maybe like a trauma response, right, to the frustration. When in all. It's part of his design and who he is, and if I knew then what I know now, you know, or going forward, you know, it's like with whoever, it's like understanding that the frustration's actually good. It's like the shift, right? So it's like when you're frustrated, you're about to make a fucking change.
Yeah. Right?
And then it's like the disruption, right? He's talking about the disruption, and if we lean into it and understand the disruption and what the universe is doing for us, then there's a sweet spot on the other end if we just surrender to it.
Okay.
You know, like he was saying, like if you go to a lunch date and you arrive there and then there's a disruption because your now lunch date cancels on you, it's like you could freak the fuck out and come up with all these stories, or you can just be, okay, well, here I am. Trust and surrender. You never know. There might be a really glorious opportunity that comes in that couldn't have happened if that person would have come to eat lunch to have your attention taken away. You just needed to get there. Yeah,
I want to add to this.
Yeah.
So my guides have they sent me through a lot of training, and one of them was just like it was like that they would set me up, and then I would set an expectation of what was coming, and then they would break that expectation.
Yeah.
And then they would set me up, and I'm like, all right, now it's this, and they would break that shit.
Dude.
And I'm like,
yes,
fuck it.
Stop it.
Yeah. And so that's what it is us being able to release. I see how powerful that is, you know. And from your story of disruptions, it trains us to be able to see the silver lining in disruptions and always be able to have a fucking good time. And that was part of my manifestation. I was like, I want to be in joy all the time. You know, I want to be in happiness. I want to be high five and whatever. I asked for enlightenment and everything. So Like I'm in process of that. They're trying
Yeah.
to, yeah. So it's just like expectation, nope. But like what's happening now is like what really is coming to my life is better than my expectations. And so, and I manifested that shit too. I wanted this life to be beyond my dreams in beauty and abundance and blessing.
Yeah, and so if we're not provoked by the universe, we stand still, right? We're comfortable beings. We love to be comfortable, right? We want our pillows and blankets, and we just want to stay. We want to be comfortable. You know, we get our shit together, we get it together, right? And we're comfortable. Yeah. And then the universe is like, yeah, but you need to up level, so it sends in the disruption, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Here's some butterfly shit.
Yeah, but it's like if we could see how beautiful it is, right?
Yeah.
Like we're getting leveled up.
Yeah, jaguar medicine.
Jaguar medicine.
I had this fear of fucking just, and I don't. I can say it because I'm not going to be fearing it anymore. But as you start learning what reality is, you start being afraid of like, what I went through. I don't want to cast a spell right now. I realized it was just what that happened. Okay. But as I was learning what reality was, fears came up, and I started seeing those who knew what I knew, what they were doing to our, in our governments and different leadership roles. And so I feared that. And then jaguar medicine was a jaguar coming into my life and having me, and now my ears are ringing. It's actually getting quiet and ringing at the same time. Facing that fear to the point where I thought I was going to like die that night or something. That's jaguar medicine. And then you make it through it. I made it through it, and I realized that I had done all of that suffering to myself. And they were teaching me about what fear was. Okay. Yeah, and it's like it was 4 a.m, and I thought I was about to get arrested and sent and all this stuff, just from starting to discover what our reality is. Just that's what I was like. Why are they after me? Oh no, because they know that I know. It's all that kind of stuff. So, and that's what we're talking about. We're just like learning about who you are. The more you know who you are, the more powerful you are. Yeah, and like it can be scary to know how powerful you are. Because this is all you. This whole experience is you. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here you go. Oh. There's another dose. Okay. Did I pivot us towards something? I don't think there's no. We are we're speaking wisdom. There's all pivoting. Yeah, I feel the flow. Yeah. Kick in and stuff. Yeah. All right, talk about this story. It's like the angels are in your ear and they're like, oh, remember this story? Yeah, tell them about this. They're gonna love this. Share this part of your story too. Oh, and like while I was going through the fear of police and all this kind of stuff, and it was just because I was just learning what our reality is. My guide sent me through this experience. I'm fucking in my Jeep, right, and I'm living in my Jeep at the time, and I pulled over on the side of the interstate in like the middle section. I'm out of the way though, and I like need to urinate. And I've got the door open and I'm angling it out, like shooting up, where nobody can see anything. It's safe and everything. I start going and I'm like, nobody's here, everything's good. And then I hear these footsteps coming up, like a fucking cop. And I was just like, I looked at him and I'm like, oh yeah, you totally got me. I'm not even gonna try to hide any of this shit, And he saw inside my Jeep, and I had like this whole passenger seat full of shit, And it's like I had all of my belongings in that thing with me. It was really intense. And he let me go. He fucking let me go. And so I had that experience in gratitude toward. Yeah, okay. So you're telling this story today, and then that we had that experience. So it's like I need gratitude towards. Yeah. Yeah. And so my gratitude is like now whenever I think of cops, I think I support this. I support safety and security and their intention of wanting to keep order so that everybody can have a good time together. I support that heart of letting people go, the heart of mercy. Yeah. Like there was just a lot that hit me. And so now whenever I think of cops, that guy flashes in my head and they help me heal my fear of that. In there. My room. His room? Yep, my room. Well, and then today, I had that experience with a cop, and she was super kind and just was like, hey, I just need to just do this check. And then she did check, and then she was like, thank you, and went on. Yeah. And they don't want to disrupt families. Yeah, so I was like super grateful. Yeah. Super grateful for that. That it was just like, yeah, she just was checking. Yeah.
Like there was no
Just
harm.
doing her job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and it's like, okay, well, they're really checking to make sure like things are cool.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to fuck with nobody.
Right.
And don't fuck with them.
Right.
And you know what I noticed
The
too?
speed limits are them fucking.
Well,
people
yeah. Be very cautious of your vehicle. Like take care of the vehicle.
That's
Don't
only,
speed.
That's just corrupt as fuck in my opinion.
And get your tags done. That was a lesson I had to learn. My tags were 8 months expired, and I was just driving around bebopping.
Well, living in a big city and being able to feel traffic flow, how traffic should flow in certain areas, and then coming to the fucking country where the speed limit drops to 45, and then you have it like randomly drop down to 25 when you're not expecting it, and then they pull you over because it's a fucking trap. And like I'm from the South, I know what a trap looks like, but I forgot about that shit being in the city, and then coming back. I'm like, this is fucking dark energy right here, of trapping people to get their money.
That's
it's
why,
dark.
like, when we were driving home from the mountains, I was so on your ass because of that reason. It's like, okay, the speed limit's going down
You were like,
here.
slow down. I'm like, oh, you drive yourself, man. I don't like being spoken to like that. And my mom,
I was freaking out.
She's like, slow down. The thing is, though, is I drive like a grandmother. Usually.
It was the mountain.
Maybe it was the mountain, and then maybe it was. After being in LA for a while, that changed my driving. And living in San Diego, like everybody's calling San Diego.
We're back in the South.
But going to LA and getting like, I guess my frequency raised of alertness of like being in traffic and being able to flow and like how fast you can move and be safe, I guess. And then coming here and I'm like, come on, people, wake up.
That was a wave of fear. So and you know what's crazy is I don't have fear, so I was taking on somebody else's fear.
Oh, in the car?
Yeah, because my spleen is undefined.
Is mine defined or undefined?
Yours is defined. But you were not in fear.
No, I was having a good time.
So it was either my kids or Alex, somebody I was tapping into that was causing me to freak out.
I can't imagine him, so it would be, the kiddos.
It might have been my son.
Why would the son?
I was probably amplifying the fuck out of him.
Because of the provoke.
Mm-hmm. He was provoking me to freak out.
So, okay, now
because I was already in a heightened state anyway. He'd been provoking me all day.
How would you transmute that? Like, how is that going to be something that you grew from?
So, well, what I did was I removed myself from his, it looked like there was a car pulling in my driveway. I moved from different seats. I got behind you, right? I had removed myself. Like, I had to get him calm, right? And then I went behind you, and that's when I was like, but in the back, it was him.
Okay, because you were right next to him.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I'm like trying to calm him down, and he's just like.
Okay.
And so like once I got him to go to sleep, I moved up and sat with like closer to you. I was behind you, and then I started calming down. Remember, I kept rolling the window down, like.
Does he?
To get that out.
Is my gate open to where he provokes me? Because it's like I'm noticing that I'm not allowing it to really do anything to me. Is that?
So.
Yeah, how does that work?
I don't think because it's more, okay, so it could happen, but it's like there's a 6 feet thing, right? So there's like, when you're 6 feet out of somebody's aura, you're out of their aura.
Okay.
So you weren't really in his aura. Yeah.
How many, so 6 feet is 2 yards?
I don't know that.
So, I'm just thinking of all the sacred, like, the different measurements. That's interesting that in footage, it's 6.
And, like, I learned about it right whenever COVID started happening. Everybody's like, 6 feet apart. And I'm like, oh, shit. We're all getting out of everybody's, like, we're like, getting out of people's human design.
Yeah.
You know, which in my eyes was cool because I'm like, oh, we're deconditioning.
Okay.
Right? So we're like having to separate.
Yeah.
So everybody's having to kind of come back to themselves.
Yeah, they need to learn more about themselves. Did they know they were doing that?
I don't know, but that's what I came up with. I was like, that was just like a moment where I was like, oh shit, I see what's happening on a different level. You know, it's like, because everybody had to get away from each other and we had, we couldn't get close. But noticed, like, we got, like, during that time, like, people would get close to the people that they love. And so we were only conditioning each other, like, in your tribe. Like, your tribe was conditioning you, right? So it's like, I don't know, that's kind of how I see it. Because even, like, people in the Matrix, you know, well, they were being alone, but I bet they were being with their, like, their husbands and wives, you know, and their children. So they're just conditioning themselves. They're no longer conditioning, like, other people.
Okay.
I mean, I was still going to festivals and stuff. Being conditioned by love and the music and the whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Oh, there's one today, right? Is it today or is it tomorrow? 6?
Yeah, today.
Firefly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jamestown, Tennessee, Firefly, some kind of festival.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really dope, and I'm like, dude, this whole, like, provoking, and, like, this whole day, there was, like, this big wrench that I was like, this is wild.
This is my life, like, this kind of stuff, like, how dramatic it was, and how magical it was. This is a lot of my life.
Well, and you know, this morning, I was doing that affirmation over and over and over again, because I was trying to record it. It was almost like I was being forced to, like, keep saying it. Like, there was a power in the number, because so I did one that had 3 minutes, and I deleted it, and I'm kind of upset about it, but I was anyway, technology. So I had a 3-minute one, and then, like, I was trying to do 1-minute one, so I was doing them over again. I did it, like, I feel like eight times. You know, it was just like, blah, 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 blah. And then finally I was just like, I surrender. And then we went to that, it was like just the day started out weird. Like, provoked as fuck. Like, we woke up provoked.
Yeah.
Like, you're
what
just
was I provoking about?
We were just in a mood.
Oh, yeah, I was like, I'm not going to stress about paying bills.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stress about my credit. I'm not going to stress about working my ass off for this system. You know, like, because I'm realizing how much abundance is in my life in having friends like you and having other friends, like, all over the U.S. and stuff.
Yes.
Like, I would love to just go full-time into meeting myself through meeting you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Because we're talking about the human design and who we become when we're in different combinations with different people. Yeah. And so that's a very beautiful way to bloom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in your open spaces, so you have an open G center, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so
I believe so. Maybe.
That's really important for you, because that's love, direction, and identity. And so, like, it is super important for you to make sure that who you hang around with, you want to be. You want to be like.
Yeah.
Right?
There's one guy in my life who triggers the fuck out of me, too. And he's one of my teachers. So it's like, and I was wondering, like, why does he trigger me? And I got his information. So I was thinking maybe we could look it up to see why. Because there might be some kind of provoked bullshit there. But he also triggers another being that's just like me. In the same way. So, yeah. Anyway, he's been in my life. There's been more, like, panic frequencies that have come into my field, but it's a healthy version of it. Turns out there is a healthy version of panic. You want to hear about it?
Yes.
And it's where you meet your actor and where you meet your entertainer, is to adopt a little bit of panic to where you're almost in active mode even though you're in rest.
I was in a little bit of panic today.
You also had coffee and, like, agitation. Like,
well, I'm talking about whenever that went down, you were downstairs and I got a phone call.
Yeah.
And then it's like panic set in. I had to go into an experience that usually would have ruffled my feathers, right? But I had this, like, and I'm pretty sure it's everything that's been leading up to this moment. Like, this was like queen status, dude. I felt like a fucking, like, badass, right? So I go into this situation and I get spoke to like a dog, right? And he's just like barking at me, but not barking, but just kind of like bulldogging me, right? And it didn't faze me. Like, I just was like like in my brain, I was just like, oh, this is interesting, right? Like I didn't panic. But because the panic I was in, it was like this healthy panic. It like kept me at this like.
It's like an alert, turning on an alert.
Yeah, I was very alert,
Yeah.
and I was very in my like sovereignty. But I wasn't giving off any kind of fuck you energy either. It was very neutral.
Yeah.
And it was like I was controlling. Yeah. It was like I was like controlling this situation. Just to get what I needed to get out, you know, and then go.
Yeah.
Right? But it was just like, you know, and it was just like, I just coasted through.
Yeah. So part of my training right now from the universe is rockstar training. And that was some information they gave me. Was adopting a little bit of panic to turn things on.
Okay.
And it's like an ignition switch.
Okay. Is this why I like to jump out of airplanes? Because there's panic in there.
I think that's like a grounding, cleansing experience for you.
And then I love the wild emergence, right? Kind of puts you in a panic.
Wild emergence? Oh yeah, there's like you're facing your fears.
Yeah.
And then when you come out of there, you're like you're so used to facing your fears. It's like your life goes through this transition because you just start facing shit.
Yeah, and literally like today, the experience I had today, like just like I was like, oh. Now I see why I've done it. Like it just made me feel like, oh, I've done the work.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm in this moment, and it's like not even like I'm not even ruffled. I was like, oh shit, I'm a sovereign badass being.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to share I neither attack nor defend.
Yeah. Yes. That's where I was.
We neither
I was
attack
just
nor
there.
defend.
Yeah, I was right on that.
Even with panic, you weren't afraid of the person. You weren't trying to convince them or change them.
I didn't give up. I mean, what he was saying, like, oh, okay, it was kind of like oh shit, it was kind of like no filters, right?
Okay.
Like,
is it a exercise?
At the Wild Emergence.
It's the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, when they're giving you feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So it was almost like he was giving this feedback that there was no truth in it, right? And so it didn't trigger me at all. Like there was no trigger.
Yeah. That's good.
I know.
It builds our resilience, like going through those group exercises.
Yes.
It taught me like how much I already love myself because that shit doesn't bother me at all. The shit that was coming at me.
So I will say though that my little inner child kind of did a little smart ass thing though. Like I get in the car, a
cheeky something.
A little cheeky. Like I get in my car and I'm backing out and I see the little mouth going, right? So I was like,
it's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You know, like.
Yeah. So, if you're smoking weed, you want to do vitamin C before, during, and after. And it turns out Vitamin Water is actually a really good brand. And that the people that make this actually give a fuck. You can heal from the elements in this. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just learned that Synergy kombucha is like the best kombucha also.
Okay.
It's like the best because they actually like really like they put crystals around, like they're like loving on it.
Okay.
Yeah, they charge it, and they don't put sugar in it. They use kiwi juice.
Okay.
So it's like this, like it's Alex approved. All right, this is some Jesus shit.
Okay.
He looked it up and he's like, oh, this is the best brand.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like, I'm drinking this. You know, I was like, okay.
He knows what he's saying.
Yeah.
I just had this flashback of remember whenever I just said I was clear quartz, you were describing me with my human design and I'm charged and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm clear quartz. And then one of us got the ring, I'm not sure. But I had left this Facebook post a long time ago that says, hey, if I pass in your timeline, bury me with lots of clear quartz. I want to see what happens.
Oh. So what I want to do, you said bury me. I want to put clear quartz in my corners of my. I've been wanting to do this forever, but in my corners to just like protect the energy, like the clear quartz and clear quartz can be charged to be anything.
Yeah, that's the method I use to set a sacred space.
Okay.
And it's one in each corner, and then there's a.
I'm manifesting clear quartz being sent to me in the mail.
Let's see his cravings. I want to get deeper into my Reiki understanding.
I love Reiki. To me, it's like, so when you come in tuned with Reiki, so you go through the Reiki attunements, which the classes, I feel are, so for me, it was like, I took the classes to know the basics and the foundation, but then once I was attuned, then my Reiki came to me, right?
Oh,
so,
your own method of doing it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So we're not following some template method?
Okay, so I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
Right? So I took and I learned the Reiki method.
And then you got attuned, and then your version came?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and it's still a big part, it's still all the things I learned, right?
Okay.
So I'm a master.
Okay.
And so it's like, I still use the, like I dove deep. I wanted to know everything that the masters knew, right? So I like really I read all the books. I like did, I went through a Reiki master. Stephanie, I love you, my angel mama. Oh, so much love for you. And so I did 1, 2, and 3. And so it's like really, what's the word? Honorable is coming up. Respect. Those aren't the words I'm trying to look for. There's something else in between that. But anyway, it's just like really beautiful to actually learn and get that. But once I was attuned, then my Reiki came to me, right? And it was like, all of a sudden, it was just like, oh my God. Like, it just blew up. But I still use all the, like, the symbols and the, and the practice, because you want to do it like 3 times, you know, like I do a lot of things, but it just went wild once I was attuned to my mastery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been exposed to 1, 2, and 3 and master, and it's as far as reading through it, but not really understanding what I was reading. And then
so basically,
I got it in my attunement all the way up to a master level as well.
Okay.
So I'm charged.
So this is what you need to do. Well, this is what I did. I did write-offs on the symbols because I wanted to get to know them. And what better way to get to know them is just write them over and over and over again.
Okay.
Yes. And so I would write them over and over again, and they would like pages and pages, just like write-offs, just getting to know the symbol and letting it speak to me. So I just wrote it, page, you know, like a whole lot.
So I don't think I had to do symbols. The version of Reiki I did was called Odin Reiki.
Okay.
And it's a different method. Instead of using your power, you use lights and just heal with it, and you don't have to drain your own energy to heal people. So it was a different version. I think it's a more modern.
I don't really drain my energy, actually.
Okay. Oh, does it charge you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I just feel,
we're always
love
looking at ways
doing
to raise our vibe.
Because it like comes through me to get to them, right? Yeah. So I'm like the conduit, and it's just God's love, right? All it is just love, unconditional love, healing, just this like divine, like just, you know, it's just orgasmic. Not really, kind of. It can be, you know. It feels good. It feels like a prayer, right? So it's like, to me, it's like this prayer, and this like just this energy is moving through me. And I just feel, I can intuitively know where to go, what to do. Dude, Kara and I did she did this Cosmic Expo, and there was a bunch of healers in there. And so her and I, we have a Reiki, Reiki 1, 2, and 3 mastery that we sell. It's a program, and so in one of the groups, we did a live to promote that. And so we did Reiki, and then we went back and watched it, and we were just like, holy shit. Like, we were basically like, both of our eyes were closed. Like, she was sitting behind me, I was sitting in front, and then it was like, it just, the alignment, like, it was beautiful. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever watched.
What did you feel the energy through the video? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
powerful. We were like,
Jess did that for me.
okay.
Shaq. Is
Yes.
that yeah.
Mhm.
She just did a little something, and she had this prayer, and this like it was. She was being silent, and there were words coming up. She stuck her hands up, and I was like, "Damn!" I felt it right away. Yeah.
She's powerful.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, what was the? What do you explain in detail? Like, what is it that you saw or felt whenever you watched that video? So you felt the power of it.
So we felt the power of it, and to watch us like feel the container, right? So we're giving energy to the container, the people that bought the tickets, because it was very private.
Okay.
And I think there was like 8 tickets, so there was only 8 people.
Yeah.
And so we basically gave them a group Reiki session.
Okay.
And so we did it, and it was like we were both doing like the same but different. Like we were in the same sections, and like it was just really dope. Like she was doing all this like chopping and stuff, and then it was like then I would come like our eyes are closed, right? We're not even paying attention to each other, and then we'd come in. It was just like it looked so beautiful too, right? It was just like, whoa, this is beautiful, and you could feel the power of it, and people were fucking crying. Yeah. Her and I are a powerful fucking team. Like I know for a fact that whenever we decided to reincarnate, like on the other side, it's like you get your you get your assignment, right? And then like her and I were like, all right, listen, bitch. So in 2019, we have to meet up. We have to find each other again, okay? Because it's super important. And then now we're on a mission to go into this new world, like beginning of whatever's happening. And it's like we were on the other side going, all right, listen, we got to meet up. Because everything's just too much alignment. Like we've known each other forever. So we reincarnated to come back together to fucking be badasses.
Yeah, I was feeling the energy of what you said whenever you were like, and then when we were giving her our assignment, like, so we give ourselves our own assignment, and it's like a fun mission.
Well, it can be. So what I believe, everybody has their own beliefs, right? So I'm right, you're right, everybody's right. Whatever you believe is just right, I guess. You know what I mean? But it's like...
There's like our individual truths, and then there would be like a collective truth.
Yes. So I think like our souls know what we come here to do. And I think we have a soul family that we come, like, we make contracts with. It's like if I think about the key players in my past, right? Let's talk about just even key lovers in my past. It's like every single one of them played a very important role in who I am now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like, it's like we made a contract to come and fuck each other up, maybe, but then provoke each other to go on this new journey, right? Whether good or bad, we get to choose how we look at it. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah. On the contracts, it can be anything. Like,
yeah.
Like,
maybe
you might have a contract with a person to, provoke a change, or you can have a contract with the person to be a lover for a while and cause all this other pleasurable change. You know, contracts.
Your children, you all have contracts. Like,
Hey, you're gonna be my mom. You're gonna be my dad. You'll be my sister. We'll live this life together, and then we'll come back, and then we'll all switch roles and do it again.
Yeah. I mean, who really knows? But that just feels right to me. It's just
we
like...
can do anything, so why not be able to do that?
Yeah. And if everything is us, right? If everything's our mirror or whatever, it's like, okay, maybe not everybody's the mirror, but everybody in your life is there to help get you to where you need to go. So it's like, even the ones that, like...
Where do you want to go?
Well, okay, so my past relationship, like in my natal chart, it's Uranus, right? And so I always giggle because it's like you're an ass, Uranus, But it's like when he comes in, he's like, it's always to provoke me to go a different. So it could provoke anger, right? Which creates change in me, right? The whole human design. So he's like a key player. So I had to keep him in my life, right? I don't want to. It's not fun. I keep my distance, but I respect that. Okay, well, he's doing his job, right? That he came to do. Just like in that thing today when it was talking about how we could even be the, what was the word he used? In that, hold on. Disruption. The disruption comes to help us go to the next level, right? So he's my disruption.
Yeah, we were talking about like what to get us to where we need to go, and I was thinking like how much more power we have and how sovereign we are, and it's like it's really where you, what story did you write for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even in your passing from this and through the veils of whatever the next level is for you, if it's reincarnation or you take a break or you go to that planet.
I've only been here 8 times, so I take lots of breaks.
Oh, okay. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean, that you're a newer soul? Is that what or have you only been here 8 times, but you've done all kinds of other
I don't
shit?
know what else I've done, but I know I've only reincarnated on Earth 8 times.
Yeah.
And the power of 8, right? There's 8.
Yeah.
And so I only come during the time of chaos. Because again, I'm a manifester, and my anger creates change. So it's like I choose to come back when there's chaos.
Maybe you're some super being from a whole nother part of our experience.
Yep.
And like, and then this collective dream Earth experience, you decided to come here and
be a key
inspire
player.
change. And we wanted you to come and do this.
Yeah.
To come here and bring whatever it is that you bring.
Yeah, my human gets scared.
Right?
My human gets scared of my power.
Oh yeah, I was afraid of scaring people.
Yeah, right.
It's like letting my full self out is gonna it could terrify people.
Yeah.
Just because it starts triggering the fuck out of them. They're like, whoa, if he acts like that, then my religion's not real. If he does this.
Well, even without all the words, it's like I have the gate of transmutation. So I'm literally a walking transmuter. That's my manifesting channel, right? So it's like...
So you're transmuting it to whatever your intention is?
Whatever you're going, whatever your intentions are, not mine.
I don't get it.
Okay, so this is why I'm a really good coach. And this is why I'm really good at the wild emergence.
This is why you're built to be a coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have that channel of transmutation. So it's like... I leaned into this a lot during one of the Fear to Fuck It's of Jamie's, which is now the Evolution. But it's like I leaned into it because I was like, I want to know what my channel is. Well, it's also a very musical and kind channel. So it's like this depths of emotions, whether you're in the mood or not in the mood. And it's like a lot around the moods, right? So it's like if my mood is good, all moods are good, right? Because I am the expression of all emotions. Which a lot of people, how you're like, I'm too much, people are afraid. Well, when you're the fullness of all emotions, and people are afraid of emotions, you know what I mean? And that's what I am. But it's like people come into my awareness, or into my, like, just being with me. Like, I can see it in my relationships. Like, how, like, when they ended, like, it's like, boom. Like this whole new, like when the healing ended and I was no longer needed in the transmutation, it's like their whole everything just shifts, And I've watched a lot of my relationships step up into more like better relationships, more like stepping into who they are, but that's the power I bring. But also it scares people. So who the fuck really wants to do that? Who wants to commit? And that's for the brave only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also like the brave only is the wild emergence, right? Like it takes a brave soul to go to that. Like It's, you know, it's only for the brave. It's only for the heroes, really.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's some shit, man. Like, that's some powerful shit we do there. And like, that's why my role is so important, is because, like, I have that gate of transmutation, and it is my manifesting. So that's why I can say something to trigger someone to help them through the process. And then I also can, like, speak wisdom, and, like, and it's just like this, like, gift I have. Like, I found it out in Utah. Actually, Etheric even, like, was like, whoa, like, you've got a fucking gift. And then he went into this whole, like, it's like I go in and I can find the shadows and I pull it out, and I like kind of like, well, he used, like, eat it and then regurgitate it back into light. It's like I can take it in, process it, and then bring it back out and create light in it.
Okay.
And so then it's like, and like just I don't know, it's like intuitively in me. It's wild. And when I saw that come out, I was like, oh my God. And that's why I got to lead at the Wild Emergence this time, because Jamie saw it too. You know, it was a scene. Like, this is where I belong. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. But then today's whole experience I had, even like, I was like, oh my God, and I can do it in the fucking like in the real world too? Badass.
I'm trying to understand. So you're able to take the energy, a
Transmute
negative,
it.
consume it,
hold
and then
space.
regurgitate it as something light. Right?
Yeah, so it's like basically like with my coaching clients, like they can talk about what's going on, and then I take it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm taking in, I can write things. I'm getting downloads, right? And I'm downloads how to turn what I'm taking in from them, and how to turn it into life.
Yeah.
Right? But see, I'm
because
also,
you have that gate.
Yes. And because I'm also like, I'm a manifestor, so I speak into people.
Yeah.
Right?
You give information.
Yes, and I inform. And it's like, and I ignite people.
You're meant to be a life coach.
Yes.
You're built for this.
Yes.
Yeah. You're going to be so fucking in demand. That's what people know who you are. Like, after you've had a few people that are just like, my life is totally fucking different, and I feel like I'm one of those now after spending this week with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've ignited me. I'm ready to kick some ass.
Dope.
Yeah. And then it gets me even more excited about the tribe.
Yes.
And just getting to meet everybody and who I become when I'm with each meeting. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can like you can, like, I wouldn't mind having more people come stay for like a little amount of time, you know, like a week or two. As long as they were referred by my people. Like, if you were like, hey, I know someone that needs to come stay with you for like 2 weeks. Fuck yes, I trust my gut.
Oh yeah.
Right, so it's like you can't, I can't just be anybody.
Yeah.
Because it's like my house is sacred.
Right.
Fuck.
But it's a healing ground. It's
it
like
is
a temple,
healing ground, and like, yeah.
Bring people here and then walk them through just relaxing, and then having these conversations with them. Just teach them their human design and ignite them and inform them.
Yeah, and then let them just go.
And they go off to new people because you're the transmuter.
Spread the word. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So this is like super medicine for me to come here and hang out with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to feel what it's like to have 5 at the gates. Yeah.
Well, and it's been super healing for me too. Yeah. And you know what? I don't even need your sacral. I've had mine all week.
Yeah. Mine just amplifies, right?
No, yours is solid. Yours is yours.
Okay.
I amplify it.
You amplify mine?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I amplify the sacral. Hence why I'm pretty sure that's why my last relationship didn't work out, because it just couldn't get off the sacral. Yes.
Yeah.
Where is your charger at? Can you borrow it?
That's right there.
Grateful. She shares this grateful.
Yes, it does.
Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too. It does say grateful.
Look at that, 109 minutes again.
Oh my God.
We did that yesterday. Do we want to stop it?
Do we?
I think that's our sign that we're finished.
All right. Peace and love and happiness.
Have a
Thanks
good
for hanging
night.
out. If you made it to the end,
Woo.
send us a. We made it to the end.
No.
Oh.